الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers, inshallah, today I have with me my brother Muhammad Al-Andalusi, aka Mr Halal Money, and I'm sure you know it already. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feek. So we're just gonna go straight away into the interview. Akhi, so the nickname Mr Halal Money, how did that come up? Why?
So Mr Halal Money, it came from when I was in Egypt.
Okay.
I basically had an accident with my wife on a motorcycle.
Oh, subhanallah.
And that day it was because, and I'm gonna try and resume the whole thing because it's a long story. So this is why I'm going straight into the hard things. But it was a day where we didn't have money and we had an appointment with the American embassy.
Okay.
And I had a motorcycle at that time.
Okay.
But obviously for those who've been in Egypt as well, the embassies, they are far away from where we were at. Okay. And you gotta, if you take a taxi for example, it's gonna be at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
So going in that highway with a motorcycle is kind of dangerous.
Yeah. But
it's doable.
Yeah.
I mean, Egyptians do it. So I went that day. I was like, okay, we need to get to this appointment because it was, for personal things and stuff.
Yeah.
So I took my daughter and I put her in my jacket.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't have no helmets there or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had my wife in the back, and she was sitting sideways.
Yeah.
So what happened is that her garment, because it was so long, it went into the wheel, and that stopped the wheel on a, like
from spinning.
Yeah, from spinning basically, and my motorcycle stopped rolling basically. Yeah. So we fell, and from there, that day I said, okay, I'm not going to be broke again in my life, and I'm gonna try to do anything that I can to take my family, to take care of my family financially basically.
Okay.
So after a few months after that accident, and alhamdulillah only me got hurt. I had to come back for financial problems that I had at that time, and obviously I had the option of making haram money. Yeah, because that's the easy route, and this is how I used to make money before. Exactly. So to remind myself and to have it on a consistently reminded by the halal money, what better than actually make my name Halal Money. Okay. So I call myself Mr Halal Money, and it kind of worked because now every time someone says, oh yeah, he's halal, Mr Halal Money, you make sure that you do things the ethical way, the halal way, and this is what the Sharia tells us anyway. Access to the, seek risks from halal means only. No doubt. So we see the connection, Mr Halal and money, gaining and earning halal money. So that's, باختصار summarize why that name came. So moving on to that, inshallah, how does the nickname connect to that which you're doing? So obviously I do believe highly in entrepreneurship. Yeah. I've been into entrepreneurship since 16 years old. 16 years old. A lot of failures, a lot of successes as well. Yeah. And so Halal Money basically is Mr Halal Money. It connects to what I'm doing because I'm basically trying to get my halal money right. So everything that I do, all the businesses that I do, I make sure first and foremost that everything is halal, and that I can go into it. There is no anything doubtful and ambiguous in there, and then I go straight into it. All right. So that's what the connection basically. All right. So I know you have these courses going on the internet, and you have products that you sell. Things with Amazon as well. Can you just touch upon that as well? That. So obviously across the years I have gained skills, and I have went into different financial vehicles, financial business models, if you want to call it. And so I try to do my best to put that information into programs and courses that people can go through it and learn from it, and hopefully use those skills and that information to later on start businesses themselves and you know
be independent as well, huh?
And gain halal money for themselves and their family, basically.
So it's basically you starting something like a, you know, like a movement, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a movement, halal money entrepreneurship for Muslims,
and have like disciples as well.
Exactly, there's disciples, there's students, there's, you know, the people from the halal money gang.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're trying to do, basically.
All right. So now, as you said, trying to get Muslims into it, and you know, them to start doing their own businesses and being financially, you know, independent. Why do you think Muslims should become entrepreneurs? Why do you think it's good for Muslims to go into these kind of things?
I mean, entrepreneurship.
What are the advantages of it? You know?
Muslims what entrepreneurship, and I can tell you this because of experience.
Yeah.
I think in my whole life I've had 3 jobs. You know, one, it was in a warehouse.
Okay.
Another one was as a delivery driver, food delivery driver, and the other one was regular retail store. And I can tell you that obviously if you have always been into this, which is, you know, what the average person, the average Muslim in the West is doing, you don't see what's after that, or you don't see what's you cannot feel what is different than what you're already doing. And I can tell you by experience that when you are an entrepreneur and you have business, your own business, your own schedule, your own rules, basically, it gives you a lot of freedom. It gives you, you know, the opportunity to scale as well, just to have more money, like more money than the average person. He allows you to make thousands per month, thousand in a day, even if you know, depending on the services that you sell and whatnot. So it gives you these 2 things. That's the main 2 things that I think it should be something that a Muslim should aspire to do, because it gives you freedom, and you don't see it right now, like I said, because that's all you do. But when you are an entrepreneur and you see all the freedom that you have, and I'm pretty sure that anyone, you know, that has a job, a 9-to-5 job, can see how draining it is. At one point, you see, it depends that the type of job, but in general, you are just tight. You know, you have a schedule. You have to be at one place at a certain time. You cannot leave until this time. You cannot have vacations. You cannot. Sometimes you can even go to Jumu'ah.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, and this is one of the main things as well. I was thinking, you know, having your own and owning your own, having your own business. You know, as you said, it gives you freedom. You know, you're more flexible. For your salat time, you can close whatever you want.
Exactly.
You know, whenever you want. For Jumu'ah, no one is going to tell you, oh, you can't go to Jumu'ah. For the salawat, you can do what you want. You can come when you want, close when you want.
You wear how you want.
8 day, you don't work as well. You know, you're free. Okay, I see.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. So moving on to that, as you know, when someone does something or when someone starts something, there are always going to be naysayers. People that say no, don't go into it, or people that are going to say, you know, things like, oh, you too much involved in the doing it. How do you deal with those kind of people? How do you deal with that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can see from many of the Sahaba, from many of the people that we aspire to be like, they had money. You know, a different type of money in a different time, but they had money, and this is something that you cannot escape. Like, you need money. You know, you
can't deny it.
Exactly. So the problem with many Muslims, and this is why our community, bil asaf, and it's the reality, we are behind many other communities. You know what I mean? Like, we were talking this morning about a certain group of people that I don't need to mention, but they are just so much together. All the businesses is in between them. They have control over their community. They're making a lot of money, and they murtah, you know, they tranquil, basically. So that's I mean, any Muslim should aspire to more, you know, and have have and be financially free if it's possible.
Independent as well.
Exactly, independent. It doesn't have to. You don't need to be rich. But what if you can make on us instead of working for someone? What if you actually can work for your own self and actually make more money than what you will make with working for someone?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I heard this thing about most of us or many of us these days, we're basically making someone else's dream happen. So we're basically helping someone else, fulfilling their dreams, and we're not fulfilling our own dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you working for a company, for example, someone made his company and that's his dream. That's his dream.
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
that's why he's employing you. You're basically helping him grow up and move up and making his own money at the end of the day. But then doing that for yourself, then that's more beneficial, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like the known quote. If you don't chase your dreams, someone is gonna hire you to chase his dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
So with these people who say it's always gonna be, and that's another thing with entrepreneurship. Most of your success is going to be based on your mindset.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right mindset, entrepreneurship is nothing. It's not easy at all. Like there is a lot of, if you don't have the right mindset, there's going to be a lot of depression that you're going to go through it, because there's a lot of failure, and a person needs to be ready for that. So I always say that your success is going to be based on 80% mindset and 20% is just skills that are easy to learn.
So the person is going to have to learn how to fail, as you said.
Exactly.
And come back up, fail again and come back up and never give up, isn't it?
It's about learning from failure.
Yeah, from the mistakes.
Because if you jump into entrepreneurship thinking that your first journey, your first business journey is going to succeed, it's gonna be so hard for you to get up when you fail, because you're gonna fail. Anyone that starts a business, if you look at any successful company, whatever it is, Apple, Google, Microsoft, whatever it is, this big success, Uber, Deliveroo, they all failed. You know what I mean? In the beginning. But it's what makes them win is learning how to get up after they fail, and learning how to learn from these failures to not fall again.
I think the smart person is the one who learns from the mistake, and not the one who just abandons or just gives up after one mistake or two mistakes.
No doubt.
So the person should learn how to get back up.
And that applies for everything in life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even for your deen, even for you as a person, you need to develop yourself. You need to grow if you actually want your business to grow, and your financial income as well to grow. So when I was in Egypt, I took a year gap just to focus on business. Literally, I stopped everything. I stopped studies, and I was just focused on business. And my why, it was to go back to study the religion. You know what I mean? So if your why is just desires, if your why is just I need to be the flyest brother in the masjid, or be have these nice cars so I can walk in front of people, and if it's just desires, that's what's gonna make you fall. But if your intention and your why is sincere, and you're trying to please Allah through this, you cannot fall. You know what I mean? So this is how I keep it balanced. Basically.
So you must have like a goal, the reason why you're doing it.
Exactly.
As you're saying, also if it's for showing, for example, then of course you're gonna fall into the dunya and get swallowed by it. But if it's for for example, earning your rizq in a halal way, helping your family, for example, taking care of your wife, then perhaps that gives you ajr as well. And I think that's another thing that people should think about. The fact that as we know, Prophet ﷺ, he said that spending on your family is sadaqah. So that goes in the same way, isn't it?
No doubt, that goes in the same way. That's the general why for the Muslim. Why you would like to have more money. You can spend more in zakah. You can spend more in sadaqah. You can have your family in a cool way, in a calm way, where you don't have to struggle, where you don't have to. You can take them to travel. You can have vacations. You can even please Allah even more when you have more money. If you look at at it that way, you know. You can make umrah, you can make hajj whenever you want, you can go visit the scholars whenever you want. So if your why is that, there's no reason why you would, you know, fall into the dunya too much.
So another thing is, you know, as you know, they always say everything or every aspect of life has the downside of it. You know, negative consequences. So what would you say, beside from you know, being ready to fail or to have failure in your path, then what would you say are the downside of entrepreneurship? Are there any downsides?
The downside of entrepreneurship is that it's hard and it's draining emotionally. Because that's just how it is. It's just hard, and you need to be patient, because, you know, no one is gonna hand you a business already ongoing, successful, where you're gonna, you know what I mean. So if you start from zero, if you start from the bottom, you might. It's been times for me, for example, that I've grow a business to 7,000 per month, for example, and on the third month it fell. You know, it went back to 1,000 per month. And when this happens, you know, you start getting scared. You know what I mean? It hurts, and as well, you might get your life on a different level once you are getting that money. And now, if it falls again, you might have social problems.
You have to be ready for that, isn't it? You have to be ready for that.
So in terms of the downside of entrepreneurship is that it's always up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you need to be emotionally stable. And like I said, 80% is mindset. Know how to learn from your failure and always expect to fail. If you go in the court expecting to win and expecting to get hurt, when you get hurt, it's not gonna
hurt that much, isn't it?
You know, it's not gonna be that bad.
You're prepared for it.
So, for example, as basketball players, they go in the court with the bucal, or the, I don't know how they call it, the bucal, we call it in Spanish.
The mouth guard or something.
To not hurt your teeth. So they already know they're gonna get, you know, kicks in their mouth and whatnot. So you do the same with entrepreneurship, but you gotta be emotionally stable. I can tell you, man, because there's gonna be times where I have cried myself. You know what I mean? Where you just get emotional. You just feel like, okay, this is not working anymore. Let me just drop it. You know what I mean? So that's the downside of it. But you know what?
It has more benefit to it than
exactly. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know.
So the next thing is about as you mentioned about, you know, you going to Egypt, learning Arabic and coming back. So one of the side things that you have is a platform about learning Arabic. Can you just
that's one of the products that and services that I provide, which is under this institute.com, and it's basically, and it comes back to the why you doing what you do. So with all the knowledge that I have on online business and on you know, creating great products for people, mixed with the knowledge that I have gained in Egypt, from, you know, graduating from Al Azhar High School and graduating from different marakis in centers, Arabic centers, I have put all of that together into a program where I help a person to go from zero in terms of Arabic to fluent in Arabic, to be able to speak, to be able to understand when a teacher is explaining you something in Arabic, to be able to understand a scholar explaining a book. So basically giving you the tool so you can furthermore, you know, improve your Arabic. So that's one of the services that I provide in my different businesses.
So that's online, right?
That's online. It's all online, and that's the power of
social media and the internet.
Social media and the internet technology that we're living in. So that's one of the products.
So you have like students that will, for example, register for like classes or curriculums. And
it's a program. It's a 12-month program. It's based off different modules, and so the person signs up, you know, and from there he goes through the program basically through the modules. There is exams as well that needs to be done. There is weekly calls that happens with me where I test the speaking of the student, the different aspects, because it's not only about knowing words and just memorizing like a donkey, but as well learning how to learn. Basically that's the main thing. So it's a whole program. It's 12 months. And it all happens online.
So you take a person from being a zero in Arabic to be a fluent Arabic speaker.
Yeah, exactly.
So based on the experience that you have, and as we know, Egypt is one of the best countries to learn Arabic. And many people they go there.
Subhanallah. Yeah.
So so you take someone from being near nothing in Arabic, you build up, and then they end up sitting down.
Obviously everyone has different levels when it comes to learning a language, to their learning capacity, but the average thing, which is what me and different students that started at the same time, that's what we have achieved. In less than a year we were already listening to khutab, understanding, conversating with the scholars and trying to understand different subjects and stuff. And that's the good thing, that once you have that, then you can furthermore complete your studies. So that's
another thing. So what you saying reminds me of the statement of Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu, where he said that تعلموا العربية فإنها من دينكم. Learn Arabic, for indeed is from your deen. So it's very important and very crucial for the people to go back to Arabic, learn Arabic. And there's something that I heard as well, I don't know, that at some point in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, I think it was at the time of Imam Malik, for example, that they would not allow anybody to come in the masjid and speak in another language, because Arabic at that time was so important and was so it was high up there. But now we have people that don't really pay attention to Arabic and Quran, they don't understand much, so
the salaf, they give to the Arabic language a different type of importance to the even they would hit their children for nahu mistakes, you know what I mean? So nowadays, connecting that to my quote-unquote success in entrepreneurship is because I knew Arabic, and through knowing Arabic, like some of the salaf said, if you don't know Arabic, you're gonna have a naqs in your deen. You're gonna have a minus in your deen. So knowing Arabic, it allowed me to kind of build my have some knowledge, some storage knowledge, that when all of this depression and all of these downs, when it happens in entrepreneurship, you are able to get yourself up because of what you know about your deen and what you know about your Lord. And knowing these, you can connect yourself better to your Lord. And therefore other things in your life becomes easier,
Khair. So akhi, any final words? We can wrap up, inshallah.
What I would say, any final words, I would say, obviously I'm gonna leave a link for you down below if you want to check out the Arabic program, plugging myself in here,
inshallah.
And just check me out on Mr Halal Money, YouTube, and across social media,
Instagram.
Exactly. And the last advice that I would advise is for Muslims to plan their years ahead, to not live and get caught in the routine of the Western societies, which is what I call the rat race, which is you get a 9-to-5 job, every day is the same thing. I get it, you get home, you tired, and the weekend is your only time to spend time with family or to do what you are happy to do, and then Monday, next thing you know,
you're back at it,
and you don't have time to. You're so close from the picture that you cannot see ahead of the picture. So what happens is that many of us, we just يظل الرجل, he stays like this for 30 years, and when he gets to 30 years, then he's like,
he realizes
what did I do? You know what I mean? So I would advise, as my final words, for brothers and sisters to step back and look at where you want to be in the next 10-20 years, and start building from now, because that's what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is not like, okay, I'm gonna start in 10 years. No, you gotta start from now if you want to have something in 10 years. You know what I mean? So that's my final words, inshallah.
Inshallah, Akhi Muhammad, it was very nice to have you. Allah barakah in what you're doing. And inshallah, one day we'll catch up again.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahu a'lam.